Hey everyone, Coach Tanner here. In this video, we're going to be going over the best hero synergies so that you and your duo partner can destroy the rank ladder and gain that sweet SR. But before we get into the video, I need to tell you about the GameLeap website. This month, we're releasing the section for Overwatch 2 with step-by-step courses and strategies for every single hero. We'll make sure that it's way better and way more in-depth than anything out there on YouTube. Make sure that you pre-order your sub right now at 50% off by clicking the link below. First up on our list, we have Sombra and D.Va. These two working together can absolutely delete the enemy's tank. A simple hack combined with a large burst of damage that D.Va can output with her micro missiles will leave the enemy tank extremely low HP or just outright dead. With this combo, you want your D.Va to try and stop the enemy tank at a choke point, and this is going to give your Sombra enough time to position herself so that she can get the hack off on the enemy tank while still in a good enough position to finish them off. What I mean by this is you really don't want to be uncloaking a Sombra in front of the enemy DPS or support line, as they're probably just going to hit you with all of their burst and you're going to be forced to translocate out while your D.Va is just stuck there doing nothing. As Sombra, your positioning matters the most. You really want to be positioning on a side angle or even better on the high ground if possible. Not only do these two heroes put insane pressure on the enemy tank, but their ultimates can combo for one of the easiest team wipes of your life. If the enemy tank is one that relies on shielding their team, like Reinhardt or Winston, throwing your D.Va bomb into the enemy backline combined with Sombra's ultimate or even a simple hack can take away those pesky shields and leave you with 5 free eliminations. Up next on our list, we have everyone's favorite combo, Nanoblade. This one should be an absolute no-brainer. This has been one of the scariest and long-running combos that the game has had to offer. Really, the only things that can outright counter Nanoblade are either the Genji player's lack of skill or certain CC abilities like ZARYA grab, Sombra's hack, or Brig shield bash. Whenever you and your Ana duo partner are ready to do the Nanoblade, this is the thing that you really need to be worrying about. The enemies that have those key abilities like Lucio, Zarya, Brig, anybody who can stop you in your rush to kill all the enemy team, that is the ability you need to be really worried about, and you need to make sure that they either use it or that the hero that has it is dead before you're using your Nanoblade. And while Nanoblade should be a free teamfight win for any Genji Ana duo, it's really not the only synergy that they have together. Genji is incredibly good at following up on a good Ana anti-nade or sleep dart. Not only that, but Ana having hit scan, healing from any distance allows Genji to go even further into the enemy backline than he normally would, while still having that healing support from his Ana player. The biggest tips that I can give an Ana and Genji duo are communication. Make sure that your Ana player is in a good enough spot to actually heal you while you're inting into the enemy's backline, or else you're just going to end up dying and then you'll both be tilted. Alright guys, this next combo might be a bit odd, but let me explain. Sigma and Widowmaker can be one of the scariest things to see on the high ground. Imagine you're a lone Widowmaker and the enemy Widow has her own personal shield, and your Winston and Genji can't dive her because that Sigma is sitting there with his rock ready to kill them. If you have Sigma on your team and you are a good Widowmaker, you need to be making sure you ask him to shield you as much as possible so that you don't have to worry about anything but clicking heads. Now, anytime you have a Sigma on your team, obviously he can't shield you permanently, but on certain times, especially on defense, if you have really good positioning as Widowmaker, you can single-handedly wipe the enemy team with a few good picks, and any Sigma player that's good enough to recognize this should be one that you consider duoing with. Now, I wouldn't have picked these two if that was their only synergy, but their ultimates combine quite nicely together. With Widowmaker's ultimate, Sigma can easily be able to see where all of the enemies are, allowing him to get the most value out of his ultimate when the enemies run to take cover after he uses it. The last thing that Sigma is great at when combo with Widowmaker is his ability to peel off heroes that can dive her. With that rock of his, he can easily destroy that Genji or Tracer that's been pestering you all game, giving Widowmaker much more free reign to click heads. Our next duo on on the list is probably my favorite of them all. It might seem simple, but Lucio and Zarya have some insanely great synergies. With Zarya being extremely dominant and ranked right now, we have to look at her weaknesses. When looking at her kit, she has no movement abilities, obviously, and this is where Lucio comes in. Having a great Lucio player that plays around Zarya can allow this powerhouse of a tank to really just run through the enemy's team. A high energy Zarya with her bubbles up and a speed boost at her side can easily charge through an enemy team, running down the squishies and finishing them off before the enemy tank can do anything to stop her. Not only that, but whenever Zaryas are high charge, you really need to be keeping that charge. And Lucio is a great hero at helping you escape a losing fight whenever you see the tide turn. Speaking of turning the tides, Zarya and Lucio have some of the best ultimates in the game. Lucio, with his ultimate being extremely defensive and also giving a big speed boost, can easily facilitate that high charge Zarya running into the backline once again. And Zarya with her ultimate, while Lucio really isn't going to be doing much other than maybe doing some AoE damage and helping you finish off targets, it's still a really good ultimate to help turn fights or even just speed boost into the enemies with your ult so that you force the enemies to clump up together. Now we all know that Lucio players and running into the enemy team go hand in hand, which is why this synergy is so great. Once you get high charge as Zarya, try saving at least one bubble for your Lucio friend when he inevitably finds himself deep in the enemy backline. This next combo is for all of our soldier mains out there. Make sure your duo partner picks up Baptiste. Baptiste and Soldier have a ton of really great synergies as long as they're sticking together. Both of them being hit scan means that if you're on the same page and talking together, you should easily be able to focus flying targets down or really just any hero that tries to dive you to. Since Baptiste can't heal himself with his launcher, he normally would have to rely on his other support or his regen burst ability. But with Soldier's heal pad, you're easily able to hold these high ground positions very aggressively and force the enemies away from you or just outright win fights together. Since Baptiste has incredible vertical mobility, Soldier can easily push up onto the high grounds and Baptiste can join him right after he sets up. Now with all these synergies together, I haven't even mentioned their ultimates yet. These two ults are literally perfect for each other. Since Soldier's ultimate gives him literal aimbot, doing double or even quadruple the damage on headshots can be a complete game changer. You need to make sure that anytime you're playing these two heroes, you are comboing your ultimates together whenever possible. Our final synergy includes the newest hero to the game, Kiriko. Kiriko and ROADHOG are amazing together. Kiriko's ability to deal huge critical damage is complemented really well whenever ROADHOG gets a hook on the enemy tank. Since ROADHOG's just going to one-shot any 200 HP character he hooks, if he gets a higher health character like Reinhardt or D.Va, the critical damage from Kiriko's knives can easily turn the tide into getting that kill or the tank just walking away. She should be able to easily aggressively flank or push up to the front line with ROADHOG, as her teleport ability allows her just to turn around and immediately save herself whenever things get a little bit too dicey. But the best synergy they have together is Kiriko's ability to cleanse ROADHOG of any anti-heals they may throw at him. ROADHOG's main defensive ability allows him to heal up to 350 health while giving him a 50% damage reduction, but if he gets naded by Ana or ulted by Junker Queen, he's as good as dead. This is where Kiriko comes in to cleanse that anti-nade, allowing ROADHOG to stay alive for much longer than he normally would. Now it might seem weird, but even their ultimates have some decent synergy. While ROADHOG is slowed and pushes enemies away, the speed boost from Kiriko's ultimate allows him to deal much more damage by being closer to his enemies, and even if ROADHOG has no ultimate, Kiriko's ult allows him to run straight at the squishy enemies and just hook them, getting a free kill no matter what. Now that is all I have for this video. In the comments, I really want to hear about your favorite hero synergies, so make sure you tell me. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Just one thing real quick. We are launching the GameLeap website for Overwatch 2 this month with step-by-step courses and strategies for every single hero. We'll make sure that it's way better and way more in-depth than anything out there on YouTube. Make sure you pre-order your sub right now at 50% off by clicking the link below.